Hello everybody and a very warm welcome to this very spontaneous Mofi video. Yet another Mofi video. And you might asking yourself, if you know my channel, why is she doing a Mofi video? She is not an audiophile channel. Well, I'm surprised as well. During the last 2-3 days, I got a huge amount, and I'm not talking about 10, a huge amount of emails from people who were asking me if I feel guilty that I did an unboxing of this Carole King Mofi One Step. When I'm going to put that video down, I'm not going into details. So, but it was so strong that I feel now the need to, tell you my point of view of this, and hopefully it puts an end to certain mails. I do hope so. So, first of all, I have 2 Mofi releases in my collection. The Carole King and the Nielsen. And I must say, I like both of these records. They sound, to my ears, far better than the original pressings I have. So, do I regret buying them? No. Do I regret buying them for a certain price? Might be. I'm a little torn, and at the end of this video I tell you why. So let's talk about my timeline about this event. So when the announcement was made for the Michael Jackson Thriller, and no, I'm not going to cancel my pre-order. I did the pre-order of this. So I did the pre-order and I didn't read that it was 40,000, but at the same time I was preparing myself for a podcast, and I needed to address what kind of record I'm ordering. Everybody needed to do that who was participating in that podcast. And I said, oh, I'm ordering the Mofi Michael Jackson Thriller. And someone was like, well, 40,000. And I was like, oh, I didn't read that, but yeah. And people were asking the same questions as Michael from 45 RPM. So these conversations were going on, but I don't know if, well, people were asking these questions, but Michael from 45 RPM was the first, at least from my point of view, like I said, it's just how I experienced it, was for me the first huge YouTuber, and he's having a huge channel, to address this in a public way and saying, okay folks, how is this possible? How is that possible that you're doing this analog? I'm just asking this question. And in my opinion is we have to give him credit for addressing this to a larger audience. Okay, so Mike Esposito from the In-Groove, who I also watch regularly, came up with a video a few days later saying, well, I have reliable sources who are saying that Mofi is doing for, I think, 2015 or something like this, doing remastering from digital files. I don't know if that's true, but their sources are very reliable. So he got invited by Mofi to address these questions and to visit them. And if you're having your own business, and no, let me put it that way. After he did the interview with Mofi, there was another conversation with Michael from 45 RPM and Michael Fremmer. Yeah, there are a lot of Michaels and Mikes included in this. And I must say that Michael Fremmer, and he deserves a lot of credit and a lot of respect, and he knows his shit. I think that wasn't his finest moment, honestly. I'm working in advertisement for the last 22 years, advertisement, PR, marketing, so I know a little about that. So, and he lost me at that moment when he said that he was bashing, in my opinion, he was bashing Mike from the In-Groove a lot. And he lost me the moment when he said he's a fanboy. Because that, like I said, it's just, once again, time for my personal experience. Because in how I viewed it, Mike from the in-groove wasn't a fanboy in that situation, but he paid these 3 other people in that room a lot of respect. And, well, in my opinion, for their work they did, not all releases, but from the ones I've heard, they did quite a good job during the last 20, 30 or more years they were there at the company. So, and he got, next to the fanboy thing, a lot of bashing because, yeah, they rolled all over him and all of this. So what you have to consider is that if you own your own business, taking spontaneously, and it was done, as far as I understood, on short notice, taking a day off is not so simple. So he spontaneously, on short notice, took a day off. Got in all the camera and everything. He didn't travel there with a camera crew or anything like this. So he paid the trip with his own money. So, and he got there. And when people were there and expecting something like the Mofi confession tapes, now on TMZ, the 5-hour special, part 1, sorry, but that was not what was to expected. When I watched that, I was expecting that Mike was addressing the urgent questions. And the urgent questions were, are you working from digital files? Yes or no? They answered that. Are certain releases, very important releases for Mofi, from digital files? Yes, they answered that question. Also, how are you doing this process? Yes, they answered that question. It wasn't in deep, and it wasn't like they were going to prepare a list from all releases they ever did and said, okay, Mike, let's make a 10-hour interview and let's get through this list. Of course not. And he made that happen, and he made sure that these urgent questions were answered. That was the reason he was there, that was the goal he was having, and that was, like I said, only my impression, the most urgent questions they were answering. So there was no need to bash him, or there is no need to bash him, or he didn't grill them, he didn't this and didn't... No. No. So, in my opinion, when he made that interview with the 3 guys, because, yeah, like I said, he wasn't getting the in-deep answers. Why not? Of course they are trying to play it cool. Of course they are trying to make it look like, oh, that's not such a big deal. Yes, we're doing from digital files. But hey, we try to get the best results for you, to get the best product out for you. Of course they are doing this. Because I think up to that moment, they have no idea so far how to handle that situation. Because that news hit them totally unexpected, in my opinion. Otherwise, they would have known, okay, if we are getting away with 40,000 and no one really answering questions, that's very risky. Usually, you prepare that differently. But that's a whole other story. They didn't do that. So, yeah, of course they are behaving that way. And because they're trying now to figure out a way to explain that, or to how to do we do that in future, and doing we making a list on the website which releases are affected and all of that. Are we putting stickers on the cover, on the label, whatsoever? That this needs to be done is totally right. So now, like I said, Mike did what he said he's going to do. He's asking this question. He asked the questions, we got answers. What's now going to happen, I don't know. But bashing him for this, no, that's not okay, in my opinion. So, concerning myself, like I said, I do have 2 releases. I don't feel so much affected by this, but I do understand, I totally understand that people are angry, that people are disappointed, that they think that they wasted their money on what they thought was a high-end product and it was a digital file, and they were made believe that this was an analog thing. I totally understand this, and I'm totally with you. So because you get this box and you're thinking, okay, because when I put on this record, I was like, wow, the sound is so good. mastering from the master tape makes such a big difference to what I've had before. So, and I get this box, and I get this, whatever. I get, you know, these cardboard inner sleeves for the record, and another cardboard. And I also get to reassure me that the price I paid for this is absolutely right. I get this wonderful thing, which you guys have seen all the way now, where they explain me how good this product is because they're doing this, and I was made believe this. So I think, yeah, okay, I pay the higher price, of course, because I get this high-end product. And at the end, I'm with the feeling I paid for the Maybach to get the best possible product available for the best listening experience. I pay the Maybach price. But now I think I paid the Maybach price, but I got a Volkswagen engine in it. That's how I feel. And I think that's how many other people feel. They feel betrayed. And I totally understand this. On the other hand, and that's why I'm not canceling my Michael Jackson pre-order, is that sound-wise, these records I have, they sound very good. So I'm not throwing them away, and I'm not canceling this. Future-wise, it's not getting so easy for Mofi, and I think Analog Productions is now, because they're very transparent about everything. Chad Kassem is very talkative about this, and the products he released, they speak for themselves. I have the Dusty in Memphis, and I made a video about it, and it's just tremendously good. And I know it's from the analog tapes. So I think that people will now tend to buy from him instead of Mofi, and I totally understand this. So yeah, these are my 2 cents for it. I do understand people angry. I do understand people who are still supporting them, but what I don't understand is that bashing people who are making an effort to get transparency is not okay. In no way. Bashing Mike Exposito is not okay, and bashing Mike Fremmer is also not okay. But like I said, Michael Fremmer was not having his best moment in the conversation with Michael from 45 RPM. And Michael from 45 RPM handled that situation, in my opinion, very well. But this, you know, sorry, but that was not good. So anyway, and once again, I'm not putting the video down. I'm still happy with that release. And I do think Mofi might consider their price policy. But, you know, the guy's having the work. But anyway, that's very spontaneous to see me now struggling, because I'm pretty much end with my speak, which I didn't prepare. But I do hope that now the amount of emails I'm getting about this whole thing will now stop. It's one video about Mofi. I'm a small channel. I'm not an audiophile channel, so there is hardly any reason for this whole thing. And well, we will see how Mofi will handle this in future. And like I said, you don't need to support them. There's Analog Productions, which are very transparent, and I'm pretty sure that now other labels who might not be so or very vague with how they are doing this will now reconsider their strategy. I do hope, because we as a consumer deserve this. So these are my 2 cents. I'm sorry for this. I didn't want to do another video about it, but you know, I had the feeling that I needed to do this. So I'm wishing you guys a great Sunday. Maybe we see each other later on when Chad Kassem is with Michael at 45 RPM. And otherwise, I'm wishing you a great start in the next week. Thanks and bye. See you next time.